For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Town of Munster Show, and this is Tuesday morning, February 3rd. It's a little warmer outside, and my name is David Dellins. I'm the councilman from the 4th Ward, Town of Munster, and I do have some guests here this morning with me, and we have Jessica Sternberg, and we have our Deputy Chief, Damon Johnston, and we're going to be talking about social skills and how to interact with people. And I did want to start off, we had a council meeting last night. It wasn't a very long meeting, but it was very productive. We did approve some more boards and commissions members. We talked about it, how we do interview folks, and some of our boards and commissions have to be politically balanced, so that's another element that we have to add into the mix when we're selecting individuals that are going to represent the town at the different boards and commissions. So we did make a park board appointment, and we have made an appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals, and we had 15 people that for the Civic Foundation that we approved to be reappointed. They serve at a 1-year interval for the time on the Civic Foundation. So again, we're here at WJOB 1230 AM and 104.7 FM, and also I YouTube and all the other podcasts and things that Jim Delo's doing with us on the show. And I'm just going to go right into our main focus here, and that's socialization of people here in town. And we're going to look at Jessica. She's here in the middle, and she is a relatively new position for the town of Munster, but not new to her field and what she does. And Jessica is our social worker.
Yes, sir.
And she's been at a number of the meetings that I've been at, and she's very personable, and she's a little chatty Cathy, and that's good, because you need to have someone that is able to talk with people.
Absolutely.
So, Jessica, if you kind of want to give us the 5,000-foot level view of who is Jessica and how did you get to be in this area? What drew you to social work?
Okay, so I have been in the field, like you mentioned, for quite some time. It's been a little over 15 years. I've dabbled in some child welfare, also some therapeutic stuff over behavioral health, like therapy with HealthLink in the area. And then police social work, though, has always been the core of my heart. When I started my schooling career, my undergraduate degree is in sociology with a focus in criminal justice.
Okay.
So from very early on, straight out of high school, it was something that was always close to me. So I also, you mentioned the social work being in the area in Northwest Indiana. There are some other police social workers who are very close to me. And one of my mentors, actually, you had mentioned, she goes by Erica Corbin now. She obviously, through knowing people and things like that, was like, hey, I got a possible opportunity for you. I think you should meet with the chief and apply. So that's how I came to Munster and ended up working out. And they ended up taking me under their wings, and it's been wonderful. I did grow up in the area. I've been Northwest Indiana resident for a long, long time.
Okay, sure.
But, yeah.
Now, I might ask, had you ever thought about being a police officer? Since you had an interest in policing and that.
I didn't necessarily see the officer side. It was always kind of helping on more of a social service. I knew from a very young age I wanted to help people, but not necessarily in an officer role.
Okay, because I was kind of wondering about that you mentioned it. But, it's very important to have this as another tool. Mm-hmm. I talk about, I want to make sure that the officers have everything that they need as far as equipment and tools and opportunities and vehicles. Mm-hmm. Many, many years ago, they used to recycle the police squads. They rebuilt them, new transmission, new engine, this and that. but they didn't change the seat, and the door hinges were still sloppy. So, and the ignition key was sloppy. Where now we trade them every 2-3 years as necessary as they get the miles on them, and they're ready to go as best they can be. And that's where I like to have the opportunity to make sure I can say the right tool for the job makes the job go easier, and you are another aspect of what we offer with the Town of Munster through the police department.
Yes, absolutely.
I like to add that the council has been very, very kind to us and given us a lot of opportunity to grow and to have the things that we have, and we're very, very happy with that. And Jessica, as a police social worker, is another enhancement to our force. It's kind of a newer idea in law enforcement to, at least in this area, to have a social worker working alongside the officers to give them enhanced services for the citizens and the staff. So it's been a wonderful relationship, and we're still learning as we're doing it. That's kind of why she's been a best kept secret for us. So she got her feet underneath, and we understood what this whole thing meant. So
Absolutely, and I'm sure there's times that are trying.
Oh, yeah.
And we all could use some help or assistance, or maybe even a shoulder to cry on, or an opportunity to have a discussion. And sometimes you feel, and many times you feel better after you've had a discussion, and you talk this out, and you find out that you're not the only one that feels that way.
Absolutely.
You have support.
Right. And that has been one of the greatest things, too, as being a part of the Munster department, is that being there for the officers and building that rapport with them, and the trust that they have somebody that they can speak to, or someone to talk about when things maybe do get a little rough. The first responder heart has always been very close, like I mentioned to you, and so I'm a big focus of what I do too is also focusing on enhancing and creating a positive environment for them because of what they endure and the trauma and the things that happen on a daily basis, essentially, for them, and the things that they see. So making a safe space for that as well.
Well, absolutely. Now, do you sit in on any of the meetings with the officers as far as when they're talking about what's going on or activities?
Are you talking about like on an active call or?
Well, you have the meetings before the different shifts or things.
Oh, like shift change.
Shift change.
Yes, I've been to a couple of them as well to kind of see what's going on, and if there's been any changes in anything or things to look out for, questions or concerns that they may have had about certain call situations that have happened. So yeah, absolutely.
And again, we're wanting to put our best foot forward. We want to offer as much to our residents as possible, and folks that are traveling through the community that, for whatever reason, something happens.
Right.
And we have the tools and we have the staff to be able to make the best of what's going on and help sort this out.
Yes.
Now, Jessica, if someone needs to get a hold of you or would like to get a hold of you, what are the avenues that can take place?
So I do have a direct line at the police department and also an email address. Both of those contact information is listed on the Munster Police website. But also, if when in doubt, you could just call the police station and they can direct the call to me. If for some reason, obviously, I don't answer, please leave a voicemail and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Certainly. Now, that day number that someone can call in is what?
219-836-6621. That's my direct line.
And as far as the department for a day call?
Yeah, that number is my direct line.
That's your direct
Yes.
line, but the direct line into the department as opposed to 911.
Oh, I see. The station number? I don't have that one committed to memory.
So one of our records clerks who's typically there during the daytime is 219-836-6630. That's one of their numbers.
Okay, because again, sometimes I get asked, well, what's like the normal number, not the 911, because it's not a 911 item. But I suppose if someone really was panicky and had a problem, they could call 911.
Absolutely.
And that call would be directed
911 will always get you to the Munster Police Department.
Yes.
You might have to answer some questions, and they have to figure out where to direct your call, but that is always an easy way to get to the Munster Police Department.
The backup call, because sometimes when you're in a panic situation or you're not sure and you're having trouble digesting and working through this situation, 911 will cover anything, everything.
It'll work every time.
Yeah.
And it's like at night when someone says to me, well, I got a problem, and I realize it's a public works issue. I say, just call 911. Tell them what the situation is. They have a protocol to get the call to
who you need,
who's on call to handle that situation.
Right. And I will say too, the guys, the officers, and guys and gals have been wonderful in terms of me being there as an enhancement. They will call me, reach out to me if they feel like it's, hey, this is, a situation that requires some social services or more your wheelhouse. They're super good at communicating with me and calling me. So if it is a 911 call for some sort of emergency, but it ends up going a little bit more the social services route as opposed to a police matter, they don't hesitate to reach out to me. They've been super, super, super wonderful.
Good. Now you mentioned that there are other departments in Lake County that have social workers.
Yes.
And again, so we're not treading on brand new soil, but for Munster we are.
Yes.
And I was, pleased to hear that we have a social worker and that someone's available to interact and help give that support. Guidance, listen, the ear to hear what's going on. And that's an important item. And it makes people feel better.
Absolutely. I do have actually a couple of residents who do just come to the station to say hello and to chat for a few minutes and get a little bit of a serotonin boost, if you will, for the day. And I absolutely love it. So yeah, absolutely. Just to listen, or if you need something, that's what I'm here for.
Absolutely. So, Damon, in terms of the force, now we have how many officers right now?
We currently have 47. We have 4 at the academy, which is the brand new academy at Nightly. It's very exciting to have officers in the very first class. It's a wonderful thing there, and they're doing a great job so far. So it's very exciting.
Well, good. It was very exciting a couple meetings back where we had the swearing in of 4 officers, and that's important. That was part of my goal, is to bring the force up to have additional officers, because there's a lot of activity going on in town and around us that we need to have the depth. And as we heard last night, there was a comment about some traffic and speed and this and that, and it takes staff in order to address all those issues, to be able to go there. And then something happens and boom. Sometimes things are blamed on speed or whatever, but it may not have been. We had an accident there at Ridge in Columbia a little bit back, and it happens.
Yeah. A lot of distracted drivers out there, yes.
Yes. So, Jessica, if you could maybe share a few examples of things you've been involved with as far as activities. We won't name any names.
Yeah.
Just this kind of thing happened, like, yeah, the guy brought a pie in and it slipped and fell on the floor, and he was all upset.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you name it. The thing I like to say is that, there's no definition for what someone deems as a crisis, right? So, I mean, that day it could be, their pie did fall on the floor and they're super upset about it, okay? Hopefully they don't call the police about that, but you never know.
Well, they brought us to the police department to share.
Oh, yeah, right.
So now everybody's upset.
Yeah, right. No, but there have been instances, as I mentioned, I have a couple of residents who have come to me for reasons where they needed a little extra help finding a resource for something, whether it be in the community or just in general. And through that relationship of just, speaking with them, they've wanted to continue kind of that relationship. So they come and they chat and kind of, like I said, get a little boost for the day. But then I've also had some where you have a call out for, a crisis where there's been like a domestic battery, and either the male or female just kind of needs some comfort and support in what's going on, being talked through the situation in terms of what's available to them, in terms of like either therapy, but even like housing stability in that regard, because sometimes those situations can completely uproot people. So they may need to leave the relationship, the home. They need to go find housing somewhere. They need access to, groceries and food and shelter, those types of things. Also involved if there's any children, calls with children for the Child Protective Services, kind of walking parents through that situation. I've had situations where, the parent called me and they're like, I don't know what's happening, like what's going on. And so I've kind of explained the situation and put it in a more, step by step, what's going to happen, what to potentially expect. And then there are simple things such as, my NIPSCO bill is extremely high. Is there any resources in town to assist me with anything going on in terms of, funds to help me pay for this because I'm low income? I also have an elderly resident. I call her my little friend. She's just the sweetest. And she calls me weekly just to kind of check in. But it started with trying to get her a phone because she didn't have a cell phone for when she left the home. So different things like that. I say as a social worker, we know a little bit about a lot of things. And so you name it, I can probably figure it out.
Well, and it's important to have that resource.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you get all flustered about something, you just aren't thinking straight, or this is the first time you've never experienced it before.
Right, and pointing out some of the older population in Munster too, who may not be, involved like in social media and the things that are happening, because everything is at a finger touch away now, right? But if you don't have access to those things, you don't know.
I can raise my hand. I struggle with it. I do struggle.
Right.
Texting on the phone was a big thing for me, and being able to email and yes, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not a pro with it.
Right. So, but a lot of information is now disseminated via social media and online news reports, and where to find because nowadays it's like, oh, where do you find this? Oh, just call or look up online, and they're like, what? I don't even know how to do that. So
right. Some of these like Google, you can Google pretty much anything.
Yep.
And it will at least put you in the area or information. So that's important. But it definitely, the more resources we can give our officers. I did notice that we have an ad out now for folks that are interested in VIPs.
Yes.
And that's another avenue in the area where folks can get involved in the community and help the police officers. I've served as a VIPS officer from time to time, and again, if we're waiting for a tow truck to come and the squad's there and the lights are on, that frees up the officer to be able to go about something else.
Right.
Or funeral escorts and so we're trying to maximize the opportunity with our resources that we have.
Yes.
I'll say as administrator, I'm excited about our relationship with Jessica and the police social worker, because our officers wear a lot of hats and they do their best to supply the best services they can to everyone, but we can't possibly know the breadth of knowledge that she has as far as resources and staying on top of it, because every day she updates everything, all the different resources. She understands it, she knows it, and it's a great enhancement to our police department and a service for our town. And just like the VIPs, that we can't explain enough how much that helps us, and it allows us to do other things and provide different services and different things for the community. So we do really appreciate it. It's been exciting and new, and sometimes scary because it's new, but we'll figure it out.
And as we're talking here, to know all the resources, maybe you do or don't, but you know where to go and where to look it up and
Always
find
changing.
out. And it is.
Yeah, and I am involved in a lot of community coalitions and things of that nature to stay abreast of the most current information as much as possible, because there are things that actually, believe it or not, like I said, I know a little about a lot of things, but there are things sometimes that are even new to me. So, I attend those meetings and the trainings so that I have the best knowledge of what I can then give to the residents and the officers.
I was going to ask about that training, and is there like a group, like there's the police conventions, there's for the council we have meetings and conventions for the state of Indiana with all the councils get together and we talk about different things. Is there the same thing for social worker?
There is, but there isn't.
Associations?
Yeah, so we do have an association, like a social work board that we're a part of, where as a licensed social worker, you have to maintain a certain number of training hours and things like that. You don't necessarily have to retake your licensing examination, but they still need you to be again abreast and of the current information and knowledge and things of that nature. So there are trainings. We have to maintain a certain number, but then also, in order to do the best work and have the most up to date, it would just benefit you and the community to attend what you can. A lot of things that are brought up in the community, but then even from the coalitions, they'll host a different number of conferences and things. And Damon laughs because I'm like, hey, I want to go to this, I want to go to this, I want to go to this, and he's like, ugh. But the information, yeah.
Could you name a few of these organizations that way the public can find out? Like, because there are some that are services for the public.
Yeah, absolutely. So the CIT, which is the Crisis Intervention Team, I'm a part of that coalition. Also, Indiana Safe, which is the supporting addiction-free environments. I'm a part of that as well. And then there's a lot of other just like little mini trainings and conferences that aren't necessarily coalitions, so to speak, but they host different things like through Franciscan, some of the hospitals around here. But doing great work in the community, and I'm happy to be a part of that as well, and then bring that information back to Munster.
Right, because we all have the opportunity for additional learning and skills, and I think some of the different areas you get education credits or whatever that you need to add this, and you get a different perspective as to what's going on, and you see different opportunities. And
our officers are CIT trained, but she's bringing a much bigger, more in-depth level of that training to them, and I think that's going to be, the citizens will see some of that too. So that's very important. That's a buzzword these days for law enforcement, for training, but it's very important. And yes, we may do some training, but she's going to bring in a much better holistic view of that and a better way to train.
So the officers have a certain number of training that they have to do each year on mental health and de-escalation and crisis intervention, and so my goal is to, once I'm on the ground running a little bit, but I'm digging my feet a little bit deeper. My goal is to create a training program that's a little bit more to my standards, if you will.
Sure.
Because some of the stuff out there, not that it's bad, because nothing's bad, no information is bad information, but just a little bit more targeted on certain things.
Right, it might be overwhelming because it's such a broad spectrum, and you focus it down to where it's
that is
smaller
one of my
bite.
Goals. Yes.
And goes a long way to make things.
And some stuff is just so outdated too, just over the years, when you kind of have to use some of the same training. So a little more fresher perspective too.
Well, it's like we don't have to train the officers how to use a stick shift anymore.
Right.
All the vehicles are automatics.
Yeah.
But it's still handy to know how a stick shift works and all that. So, well, Damon, this is a good opportunity. I appreciate you being here with Jessica. And, we're just kind of chit-chatting here and making sure that we have our best foot forward, and we're offering more opportunities here in Munster. And we want to be on the leading edge as far as what's going on as opposed to being the trailing edge.
Right.
And it sounds like we are there, and that's a good opportunity.
Yes.
And we covered how folks can contact you.
Yes.
And the poor guy that dropped the pie. I may have to coach them, and we'll get another pie made here and get that set up. But I did see too that there are folks that do bring in food.
Oh, yes.
All the time, yes.
Everyone is super generous, yes.
Donations and for the officers and everyone that's there at the police department, and that's a great thing. That shows a lot of respect, and
it does mean a lot to the officers to see that people do care, and that what we're doing does make a difference. So it does. It's great.
I think I saw something about St. Thomas More. The students came in and brought some notes and comments and wanted to respect the officers. And I think Sergeant Greist does a great job in the schools. He's been in there a long time, and it's just another element that we have, and we have more officers in the schools, and I certainly support that.
Yes.
And with Sky there at the high school, I don't know if we can keep a dog in there all times, but I think it's a good thing.
I think it's working out very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
It's a
she loves the school.
Yes, and the students like her, and she's approachable, and she's a comfort dog, but also a sniffer dog.
I don't know who enjoys it more, her or the kids.
Right.
She gets all the belly rubs she
spoiled.
takes. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of contact, a lot of students and involvement with that. So, again, it's just another element that we offer, another level of service that's offered through the Munster Police Department. And again, I support the police department with everything I can do, and I think it's important to have a good, strong force, and to have them on a level keel so that they're not all kind of bouncing off the walls, although we all have that time we're bouncing off the walls for whatever reason. But it's good. So kind of wrap up some things here. Jessica, how would you sum up what you do and how you offer service to the community?
Again, I think the word of the day that we discussed is kind of just an enhancement to the department. I'm not, doing anybody's job for them. I'm not there to, take over for the officers. It's to enhance what they're already doing in a bigger way, in a way that they just don't have the time nor the tools to be able to do that. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty good sum. I could do a lot of things, but just an extra added support to get people the things that they need.
Have it run smooth and all that.
Yeah.
I think a great way to sum it up is one of her key phrases. If you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to sum this up.
Good job, Damon.
Yeah, that's what we're trying every day is to
I'm
learn more to do better.
I'm very proud of Munster. All of the guys and gals are great over there. They have been super welcoming and wonderful, just wonderful human beings. But I'm very proud of the steps that the town took to have someone in this position, because I think that it's great.
I do too. And we talked about two other phrases, key phrases. If you see something, say something.
Yes.
And that's important, because even over the years, it's the neighbors that know what's normal. And when they see something in the neighborhood, well, that truck's not normally here. Jessica didn't say she was moving, but there's a moving van over at her house and packing up everything. Well, say something. Call. Again, if you're not sure, call 911. It's never a problem.
Right.
To call and say, this is going on and it's not normal, and at least have a squad come by and take a look and see what's happening. And
please do that, yes.
We want to make sure that our community is as safe as possible and have the resources. Just like, we're buying a new fire truck, and we need to have the equipment. We want to have the equipment there with the squads and the officers. And now I see when we hang the shingle out that there's a lot of officers that apply or want to be officers, like we have 4 in the academy now. That's a wonderful thing.
It is.
And
it's exciting for us that the new officer thing is very exciting to the officers, because it kind of brings new life into the place. So it's a good thing.
Sounds good. Well, this has been this show for the Town of Munster. And I appreciate Jessica and Damon coming here and being my guests and answering some questions and having some things available for the Town of Munster. And we want to, we're here at WJOB, and it's they're in the transition right now, and we're going to have a little bit different look in a few weeks or so. And again, thank everybody. Thank you for listening to us, and have a great day now. Thank you.
Thank you.